Hello, everyone. I must welcome you all to our webinar series, the B School Insider, all you need to know about your dream school. And I'm your host, Kalyani, for this session. So in this B School Insider session, we will be talking about IIM Shillong campus life, placements, and academics. And in this webinar, you will find out about the journey of the panelists to IIM Shillong. We will be also talking about the CAT and PI prep tips. We'll talk about the campus life at IIM Shillong, why IIM Shillong, the academic schedule and faculty, internships and placements, and more. So let's welcome our panelists. Today we have Utsav Thakkar. He's from the 2024 batch. We have Suryansh Bahl, also from 2024 batch. We have Akshay Deshmukh from 2023 batch. We have Govardhan Reddy from 2022 batch. He's a principal analyst at ABN Bev. And we have Ishan Kakkar. He's from batch 2021. And he's a senior manager at ICICI Prudential Life Insurance. So welcome all of you, and thank you so much, guys, to join and to take out time on a Sunday morning. So yeah, so let's start from your CAT prep. So let's talk about your CAT score and your CAT prep, and maybe one tip each, and how many times you have to take CAT, and finally you found success. So yeah, so let's start from Suryansh, then Utsav, then Akshay, then Govardhan, then Ishan. Yeah, we'll go ascending order. Yeah, Suryansh.
So, hello everyone, very good morning to all of you. And so just a bit of introduction about myself. So I've completed my bachelor's in accounting and finance from VG Base College in Mumbai. And during my third year, I attempted CAT, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to score a very high percentile. So I had to repeat CAT. So the next year that I attempted CAT, I didn't. So what I consciously did was I didn't take up a job. So I used to do some internships and all of those things, but I was very sure of the fact that I don't want to start a job before my MBA. So that's what I did. I repeated CAT. I scored 96.7 percentile, and luckily I was able to convert IIM Shillong that year as well. So that's been my, my journey up until now. So I'm a fresher.
Okay, you're a fresher.
So my first attempt was in 2020, but as we all know, 2020 was a kind of year where everything was not going right. So unfortunate things happened on the D-Day of the my CAT exam. So I messed up my first attempt. The second attempt, I got call from Shillong and I converted it. And before that, I had 1.5 years of work at Idea Force Technologies as R&D product concept engineer. And my background is I have done bachelor's in mechanical engineering. Okay. And so one thing that I felt that as the second attempt, I had a job. I did not have that stress that what will I do if I don't get this attempt right. So the thing that one tip that I would like to give is that to stay calm and not think about the further situation more and just focusing on the present.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Akshay.
Hello everyone. I am Akshay. And, I have done my engineering in electronics and telecommunications. Okay. After that, I have work experience with Tata Motors in engineering research center. So after that, after second year, I started to prepare for CAT, and I didn't succeed at that time. In the second attempt, I was able to crack IIM Shillong call, and recently I graduated from IIM Shillong. The one tip I would give is consistent preparation. That was my mistake, I guess, at the first attempt. So that is it, I guess.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So we'll talk about your internship process and your placement bit. Yeah. You'll be also talking about the placement process. Yeah. Govardhan. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kalyani, for having us here today. And to start off with my journey, my engineering background was in mechanical. So if you might have heard MS Ramaya Institute, I did it from that institute. Post which I worked with Infosys as a design engineer, something related to mechanical as well. I think that was for 2 years, and then I like everyone in this country not sure about why we took engineering, and then figuring out life after
Yeah.
figuring out our lives after engineering is what I did as well. So then CAT has been my third attempt in which I converted. So my scores were very progressive. Like I think in my first attempt it was 89 percentile or something. Then in my second attempt it was somewhere between 93, 94.
Okay.
Then I got a 90. Then I got a 99 percentile.
Okay.
So that is when I made it finally to IIM Shillong. So so my weak area has always been verbal section. So it was something which I was really bad at, and I was cursing the examiners, like whoever sets the paper, that why do they even have this section? Like I'm good in reasoning, I'm good in math, and this is something which is pulling my scores down drastically. Like in my first attempt, my DI was 99 percentile, and Quant I think was 97, 98. So verbal was so bad that it pulled my percentile down to 89 overall. So um, so yeah, that was my CAT journey. And post which IIM Shillong happened, and most of my classes were online due to the COVID time period. Yeah.
So I've done my graduation in economics honors from Jamia Millia Islamia, Delhi. And the year that I converted, IIM Shillong was also my second attempt at CAT with a percentile of 94.5. And also I had no formal work experience, just like Suryansh mentioned. I was also very particular that I didn't want to go in for a job before going in for my MBA. And that's what the journey to IIM Shillong. One tip I would want to give is, have a schedule. Scheduling is very important towards your exam. And the other aspect is not just about your skills in Quant, DILR, and English. The other part which is more important, is how you attempt that paper. So I believe there's a lot of sessions where the mentors at IMS would be able to help you with that. So that would be those two tips.
Govardhan, you can probably give tips on how did you exactly pull up your score for the VARC section. So what was it finally you did which worked for you? So yeah, maybe you can give that tip.
So I was very consistent with my Quant and DILR, and I liked those sections. So I always preferred that to be the first section to start with. But unfortunately, they start off with verbal, which I was like getting demotivated. Yeah, but I was saving my strong zone, strong area is coming in the end. So I was awaiting for that. So that was a good part at least. So over the period, like when I came towards my third attempt, I stopped pretty much preparing for my Quant and DILR section, because I was focusing more on mocks for Quant and DILR. So I know that if my mocks are reflecting bad, then I know that I need to brush up my concepts with Quant and DILR. Otherwise, I was stable enough, and I didn't want to do much work. So I transferred complete my energy towards verbal side. So initially what happened with my first and second attempt was, when I come out of giving exam, I come out and everyone said that back then it was 32 questions. If you guys remember, it was a 3-hour paper. So 32 questions, and people used to say my attempt rate was 28, 30, 31, 32 in verbal. And I was shocked. I am standing out in front of them with just 18 attempts or 16 attempts. I was like, something is wrong. So first of all, my accuracy was low and my attempt rate was even low than the general audience. But later I figured out good attempt rate is very good with verbal section. Unlike DILR and Quant, having a high attempt rate is good. So, but what was lacking was my reading speed. So my reading speed was lacking in the verbal section, because you need to have an extensive reading throughout the 1 hour duration for verbal. I'm talking about the old pattern. So I started reading everything and anything. I started reading novels. I started with interesting stories first. I didn't start with self-help books or any other biographies, because that will really bring you down and get your reading habit again back to the shelf. So I started with something that can be engaging. I want to complete that book. That was my intention. So that increased my reading speed, and that I could see it when I was actually performing my passages, that my reading speed went up really fast. So I used to complete reading a passage in like 2.5, 3 minutes, which earlier I used to take 6 minutes. Yeah. So my target was not English as such. My target was the reasoning part in verbal ability. That was very important. So I was sitting and analyzing those videos, like how to approach a passage, what am I doing wrong, and why are my answers incorrect. So slowly, question by question, like initially my accuracy, let's say, was 2 out of 6 questions. Slowly that increased because of the mock analysis only. So it went up to 3 questions, 4 questions, 5 questions with each progressive mock. So that is when finally I realized I could perform good in verbal.
Okay, thanks, Govardhan. Suryansh, can you talk about, so yours were the 2 hours CAT, right? So if you can just take us through like some tips and all that for sections, and also how do you tackle each section, and if there is any learning, if you can give that.
So unlike Govardhan, the only strong section I had was verbal. It's always been an engineer versus non-engineer thing, right?
So I also wanted to ask you from that point of view, as in, obviously, engineers struggle less with quant and all that, but what about people, who are from finance background and all that, so then how do you, so what are the tips for those people?
So being a perfect example of a non-engineer, I was very bad at quants. Very bad. So in my first attempt, I scored overall 79 percentile, but I think in my quants, I scored some 25 percentile or something. I was that bad at quants. So that used to be my only goal, to get better at quants somehow. So I used to do a lot of things. And again, for that, self-study is the most important thing. You may attend classes, you may do this, you may do that, but at the end of the day, you have to sit down, you have to practice the sums yourself. Someone else is not going to do that for you in the exams. That's what you have to keep telling yourself, and you have to keep practicing. That's what I did. I gave a lot of mocks in my second attempt, a lot. And then giving mocks is one thing, and then analyzing them is another. So the analysis of the mocks is really important. Like Govardhan said, he also used to do that for verbal. I used to do that for all the sections, obviously, but specifically for quants, I used to understand why this answer was incorrect or which other method I could have chosen to get this answer. So because in quants, you know that for a fact that there are 2 or 3 methods to solve the same question. And some method will take you 2 minutes, some method will take you a minute, some method will take you even half a minute. So then I used to tell myself, okay, if I choose this method, it will take me just half a minute to solve this. And then IMS at that point used to tell us about the ABC classification of questions. So the ABC were the ones that you really had to attempt. So that's what I did. That's what I used to practice during my mocks as well. And that really paid off. Like gradually, I could see my scores increasing from a 25 percentile to actually I ended up scoring 88 percentile in my CAT. So I was like really happy with my quant score, if not for anything else. So I cleared my sectional cutoff there, and overall I was able to score a 96.7, which was decent for me. Again, I could have done better. I feel so, but at least that got me a call from IIM Shillong, and I could convert it. So I was really happy about that.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Akshay, can you tell us a little bit about your CAT prep and any learnings that you've had from it?
Yeah. So in the first attempt, what I did, like I started late. I was working and I started late. I started around June or July, and I think there was some confidence. I don't know why, being an engineer, I took it somehow lightly in the first attempt. But it was like still I managed to score 89 percentile. But what main mistake I did at that time during the solving the paper is, I was also not very versed with VARC. So and you first section you get when you get to CAT is the VARC, and that took down my confidence. So that affected my DILR also, and then quant also. So that, because what mistake I did is number of attempts of mocks. So I did not attempt like too much. Like last 15 or 20 days only I attempted mocks and did not analyze much. So that's why I said now in the second attempt, I started like in the May or June only, and I was not doing rigorous, but 4 to 5 hours daily, but consistently I was preparing for it. And last 1 or 1.5 month, I only took mocks and analyzed them very good. And that build a kind of attitude on how to take a CAT. The VARC should not affect our DLR, or DLR should not affect our Quant.
Correct.
That kind of attitude, the preparation got me, that major practice got me through.
Okay. So basically, you started taking mocks early on.
Yes.
Yeah, in the second attempt. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Ishan, you want to give any tip, or we will go to the PI section?
We can move to the PI section. I mean,
yeah,
the scheduling is, I think they all mentioned the scheduling part is more important. That once you have a schedule in place, and I think plus the mentors are there at IIMS to guide you in each step. You can move to the PI.
Yeah. So let's talk about the PI section. So for first, tell us about the Utsav. You can answer this. What are the selection? What is exactly the selection process at IIM Shillong? And then you can talk about your PI experience. Yeah, from most recent to senior. Yeah.
So at my time, it was like there was a VET for an interview, and then it was directly interview. We did not have GD at our time. I don't know the current process, what is the selection criteria.
Okay.
But regarding the PI, and so I'll talk about the PI and GD part, which we have in internships and other processes. So GD, I think the main thing is to the controlling facial expressions and putting the points in a crisp way. So many times we can see that some students are completely ignoring or not considering others' opinion. But even if you don't like the other person's opinion, or you have a point which is contradicting, or which is completely opposite to them, you have to agree, or at least show some consideration to the person's point. And with a slight smile, you can always agree to everyone's point. That makes a good impression on other other members also. And when you speak something, and if they are agreeing at least 50% only to it, they will give some sort of response like, yes, we agree to his point, or you can make a good impression within those 5 to 10 minutes in that situation. Regarding the PI, I guess you are the only person who knows the most about you. So you have to put all those good things about you in those 5 to 30 minutes, whatever the interview time is. So in each and every question, try to answer whatever the best you have done in your life. So in my case, it was that I did an internship at ISRO, and I had a good work experience, which was in defense manufacturing side. So in each and every answer, I would try to accumulate all those things. So if someone asked me why management or why MBA, I would say that I did certain few things here in ISRO, through which I got inclination towards management side. And even if I was mentioning my work experience, I would mention that though I was a product concept engineer, I had to design and develop things, but I also had to work with the marketing team to give the demos, with packaging team to consider what are the dimensions. And so showing that multitasking skills and all of those things.
Okay. Yeah. Suryansh.
Yeah, so when the interview started, we exchanged greetings, and then they directly went on to asking me questions about my undergraduation. So I completed my undergraduation in accounting and finance. So they naturally expected that I would be having good knowledge of finance, which wasn't the case, unfortunately. Yeah, so unfortunately, I wasn't very good at it, and that's why I couldn't answer a lot of questions very well. And I knew that was the part that I'm not good at. So what I used to do in other interviews as well, I used to direct them towards something that I want to talk about. So that is a basic trick of a PI. You always give them baits, and you ask them to ask you questions about what you want to talk about. And that's what I did. And what happens is mostly these IIMs, most IIM interviews are a lot of focus for freshers is on their academics. So I didn't want that. Unfortunately, it went there and I couldn't answer a lot of questions. And I thought, okay, this interview is done. I am not getting in. But the only thing that saved me, I feel, is the fact that throughout the interview, I had a smiling face, like Utsav said. Even during your GD, you have that face, a positive, you give out positive energy, and that reflects in your interview as well. So over the course of my 15-20 minute interview, eventually we were able to switch to other topics. And I have a YouTube channel as well. So we were able to switch there. I have a lot of interest in cricket. We talked about cricket, about YouTube, about other things, about my internships. So that's how I used to, take the interview to where I wanted it to go to by giving them certain baits. So like when they ask you to say something about yourself in the brief introduction part, you give them certain bits that for example, I used to say that I have a YouTube channel and in the past XYZ years, I have grown the channel to XYZ subscribers. Then I used to just tell this. So then actual question would be, what is your YouTube channel about? What do you do? And then the conversation would start there, and then I would stretch that conversation there because I knew that in the 5 minutes that I have, I'll be able to talk about this the most.
Correct.
So that's how my interview went. And frankly, I wasn't expecting the convert. But when it happened, I realized it is only because even though I wasn't able to handle the academic question part very well, I was able to keep a smile throughout. And that maybe somewhere told them that, okay, this guy can face the pressure.
Correct.
So they really look on that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Akshay, were you asked questions from your work, pre-MBA work experience and all that? And how much do they focus on your profile rather than, general like current affairs? Are they also asking questions from current affairs and all that? Yeah. Can you just tell us that?
Yes. So basically, it starts with introduction. What kind of introduction you do. After that, then they started asking about like from those introduction parts only. And then after that, yes, definitely they asked me about, like, I was from automobile. So they asked me some general questions about automobile industry, how it is going and all. And after that, they came to Tata Motors and what exactly what my work was there and what I was doing. So that profile based question were there. And after that, mostly some kind of how do your work experience converts into the skills that matters in business management, basically.
Okay.
So that kind of questions were there. And they then after that they also asked me about, like, I am from Maharashtra, then the Maharashtra politics was there in the news that time. So asked about that also. So basically it's a kind of a mixture of both. Your profile and your general awareness, as in when you're going to be a manager, you need both.
Correct.
Your technical skill also and what is happening in the general area also.
Okay. Yeah. Ishan, can you tell us about also a little bit about, I mean, I'm sure, you also must have been asked different questions, but how do you even prepare? Can you also cover that bit also? And your own experience, if you remember, that is.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a bit a while back, but
yes.
I think just in terms of, like, so if you're somebody with a pre-work X, so most of your questions would be directed to that. So I think and in just like as Suraj like said, so I came in with no work X. So I was like, what all do you study? Because people will tell you, read current affairs, read your graduation books, which is at that point in time is too difficult to do. But so that is what the point is. You have to have certain elements in your profile, I feel, that can stand out for you to speak about. So even like similar to him, I was writing articles on Sportskeeda at that point in time. So luckily, and one of the panelists writed that the luck was in my favor. He just asked questions related to cricket. The other panelists, not quite so much. Were asking questions related to economics, which I was trying to dodge because talking about yields, bond, interest. I had no idea. But then that is the point in time you need to be calm in that element when you're. So I think the calmness of the interview is like how calm you are. Even so, they know that you won't be able to answer 100% of the questions. 80% is also fine, but for the rest which you're not able to answer, and you need to be, that calmness should be reflective of how calm you are, how smart also you are. They'll ask certain questions which are like just street smart knowledge. It's not just intelligence in that. So he can be able to deal with different aspects. That's what they're trying to do. That's what I feel.
Okay.
And he will be able to handle eventually the recruiter's interview. That is also a skill I think they try to test.
But I feel, all of you, like even Suryansh, even when you could not answer a lot of questions from your undergraduation, but point is like, if you're comfortable facing people, I believe, you as well as Ishan, you guys are very comfortable talking to people. So, but what about those students, who are not very comfortable to face like I don't know, how many panelists are there in the interview? 3 people?
It's 2 to 3.
2 to 3, yeah. So what all they can do, people who are not naturally comfortable with 3 people staring at you and asking questions. Yeah. Any tips for them? Ishan, can you add something?
So to be honest, even I wasn't very confident. Before I'd gone in for one of the interviews, which I had a very horrible experience. There had 6 panelists for some reason, and they kept questioning me, and I was like scared. I believe so that was the worst interview I had. But what I think this is where I think the coaching and the mentoring aspect of it comes. I had given, like, before I'd gone in for my first PI for an institution, I had already given 6-7 interviews at IIMS.
Okay.
So I was well versed with what all questions or the scope of the questions that could come. I mean, the confidence, I think that's how it will build. You just, even when you're talking, just try to, have that, start giving interviews. When you're in that stage of the process, like once your CAT scores are there, you'll have that 1.5 month window. That is when you try to schedule your interviews with different panelists. Like, so if you are in Delhi, you could go to CP, go to different areas and have different people. So because everybody's mentality and line of questioning would be different.
Right.
So you'll just get practice that, okay, if this is like, if I've covered all my bases, and then also, of course, you'll need that 5-10% luck.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Govardhan, you have any tips for interview PI, to handle PI? Yeah.
For my interview, one thing that I did, which is very off, but what I did was I prepared an SOP in the lines of IIMB. Like, because I had a call of IIMB, and IIMB gives gives a very good SOP statement. It's very generic, but a very powerful SOP questionnaire that you guys need to prepare, 750 words or 600 words, I'm not sure.
Yes.
So I worked on that. I prepared my SOP. That is when I realized more about myself that I can project during the introduction. So, and the other thing that I did was, like Ishan said, lot of mocks. And I have done one extra thing with mocks. I have started taking the mocks also. Like, I was the interviewer and I was the interviewee also. So I was sitting on both the sides. Because when I was conducting an interview like a panelist, my intention was to blast that guy. My intention was to ask him any random question, and I was trying to, like, not give him an admission. So that was my intention. But on the other side, when I was sitting, I was like, I was trying to get a seat in a college, and how do I answer and how do I put myself. I was seeing both the sides, how it works, and I think that analysis helped me, which was very off for me, but yeah, it helped.
No, but it's a very helpful tip to do that. And also, writing an SOP, I think, is a very good way to figure out what you want really, or why you are here and all that. So yeah, it's definitely a good idea to generally just write an SOP, even if you are not aiming for IIM Bangalore. Yeah. Utsav, do you have any tips on how do you prepare for, how much time did you prepare for the interview and all that? Was there anything specific?
Yes. So what I did was I had a diary in which I wrote answers to specific questions, means particular questions which are very common, like what is your strength, what is your weakness. So in that questions, I also used to write counter questions. Like one of my hobbies was chess, so I wrote chess. And then I wrote counter questions to it, that what can come. So one of them questions, what managerial skills do you have? So write a particular search answer. It's you can search a good answer, frame a good answer to counter questions for that thing, and keep revising those questions, so that you never know whether interview is going to be for 5 minutes or 30 minutes interview. If that particular question is asked, make the most out of it. And also, I remember that I stay calm. So in one of my interviews, I was asked, what are your hobbies? So I mentioned chess and cricket. And the counter question which came was that, let's talk about football then. So at that time, I had no answer, but I managed to pass that interview by saying that I don't know particularly about the player which you are asking and club does he play for, but I know what is the auction procedure for IPL versus the auction procedure for the biddings for football clubs.
Right.
So try to be calm, because it is possible yet your interview turn will be after 5 hours or 6 hours. Stay calm that period.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's a attendee. This is Piyush Sharma. I have received an admit from IIM Shillong just yesterday. I've got a work experience of 3.5 years with Taj Hotels in the front office department and aspire to make a switch to marketing. The biggest and only apprehension I have about choosing IIM Shillong over MDI Gurgaon is that majority of the placement figures at IIM Shillong are attributed to consulting and finance placements. Is there anything under the sun you guys could share in the context of why I should consider choosing Shillong over MDI for marketing? Because I really want to.
First of all, congratulations for the person converting IIM Shillong. By only procedurally, so I see he's got 3.5 years of work. I just tell us small funny story around how our placements went. And in fact, in the summers, the first major recruiters are all the sales and marketing companies and the FMCG companies. Even I think Suryansh and Utsav can agree to that. So the thing is that before our year, ITC had come in, and ITC used to only select, as per our knowledge was, only they were used to select freshers and people with no work ex. And next year, when they came in for us, they didn't select any freshers. It's people with 3.5 years of work ex, 4 years of work ex. So that kind of profile also changes. And marketing, if you look at IIM Shillong, like around with us for the statistics were like 40% people had gone in sales and marketing roles. So that also keeps on changing. The companies the companies that weren't available at our point in time, but like somebody like Coca-Cola wasn't coming during my batch or my batchmates. But now I think years prior, I've seen a Coca-Cola is coming, and all these other sales and marketing firms are making a switch to IIM Shillong. So I mean, I would suggest just look at the last 2-3 years of the companies that are coming and the kind of roles are being offered. And then, of course, you can, make a choice between MDI and IIM Shillong. Not trying to sell IIM Shillong, whichever fits better for you, but just look at the trend of the last 2-3 years. It's on a growing trajectory. That's why I feel that it's like the place to be right now.
Okay, Akshay, can you say anything about because since you're more recent? Yeah. So is it true that they're putting more placement figures are more towards consulting, skewed towards consulting and finance?
This year statistics say that, but what happens is the kind of recruitment happens is kind of related to the kind of requirement they are having in their companies. Like before 2-3 years, yes, sales and marketing were the prominent one, but past 2-3 years, consulting and strategy roles. Why? Because students want more consulting and strategy roles and finance roles. So that's why our placement committee also trying to get those more roles in for the placements. So that mainly depends on what is the batch profile and what students want more to that kind of placement committees also want to get students their dream job or dream role as well. So I would say definitely sales and marketing. If you want to go to sales and marketing, IIM Shillong is still a good place. Utsav is also currently working in sales and market. I guess Tata Steel FMCG company. So that kind of you cannot say that you will get into sales and marketing if you go to MDI or if you stay at IIM Shillong. So it all depends on the requirement and matching the profiles.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. There is a question about how to prepare for CAT Hindi medium wala. Yeah. Who would like to answer? Okay. So I'm guessing, this person might be having an issue with the VARC specifically. Probably we don't know what's the undergraduation subjects that he has. He or she, he Gautam. Yeah. So any tips for this person who would like to give? Govardhan, you've already spoken about it. Suryansh, would you like to add? Okay, but your strength was VARC, so I believe somebody.
But
Akshay,
I think I have more
Yeah,
of
shall I go ahead?
yeah.
please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, because see, I was also like struggling with VRC. But what I did was I started early with the VRC, not exactly with the preparation, but I started reading newspapers and articles, and the boring stuff like literature or these diverse kinds of topics. I started reading in through various articles in the Hindu, then Mint, finance related topics also. And then I started to take out keywords and key learnings from each paragraphs of that passages from articles only, not for specifically for CAT, but it helped me in grasping those gist of the paragraph, gist of the whole article in a very short period of time. So that helped me to get 95 percentile in the VRC section.
Okay.
I guess practice is the main preparation you can do.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. Suryansh, this question is for you. Yeah, Suryansh, you wanted to add something for this? Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saying that the scales are never equal for two people, right? So for me, quants was a subject that I used to struggle at. For Akshay, for example, VARC was a subject that he used to struggle. So there are always going to be problems for a particular person in a particular domain or a particular part of that preparation journey. So for you, what you have to make sure is that you focus on your weaknesses, your strengths, how you can capitalize on your strengths, and make sure that you are not lagging behind much in your weakness. So for a generic answer would be that focus on yourself, because for any CAT PI interview as well, for personal interview as well, it's about three things, right? It's about knowing about yourself, knowing about the course, and knowing about the college. So that's what I always tell people: ki focus on these three things, and then you're sorted.
Correct.
So when you focus on the first part on yourself, you know that this is one area that I struggle at VARC or bonds or whatever, and then maybe you can work on it and you can get your things sorted.
Yeah. Okay. There's a question about I'm a third year student pursuing BTech in computer science and want to know how important are college CGPA, GPA, 10th and 12th grades while selections in IIM. So not just for Shillong, but generally for IIM. So yeah. So who would like to answer? Ishan, would you like to answer, or Govardhan? Yeah, one of the two.
I mean, at that point in time, I think for certain institutions that college scores matter, but I don't think it is that big a factor. I think it's more related to the course that you've opted for rather than CGPA. But yeah, do maintain a decent score, because what will happen will help you during your placement interviews when you're in the college. So they will do look at it, the graduation scores. I am not sure. I don't think the institution as such looks at it. But the recruiters at the point in time, they look at it.
But basically,
Basically,
correct.
it's like if you're doing good, it's fine. If you're not, so you must have a answer as to why is it so, and how you can go around it.
Maybe because obviously it will also show consistency, academic consistency. They would probably be looking for that. I mean, at least in certain IIMs, definitely they do. So Govardhan, Utsav, you would like to add anything on this? Yeah.
The other thing that I would like to add to this is like most of the IIMs, they do have the admission process. I think put up in their website. I think back in my time there was. So there is a set formula or set equation that they have for what is the weightage given to each of your stages in life, 10th, 12th, or any other additional points based on your undergrad, what like non-engineer or engineer, all of that. So once you fit in that formula and once you're sorted in that descending order, if you fall within the bracket of the number of seats allocated, you will be there. So, but like Ishan said, during the placements, yes, it will make an impact. It might not create that of major of an impact right now for IIM shortlist, but like you said, the consistency is what they look. Consistency of you performing able to score consistent scores. That is what they look.
Correct. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm waitlisted at Shillong and I'm a fresher IT undergrad, still in college in final year. Is it that only WorkX people get shortlisted by IT companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, etc.? Yeah, Suryansh, would you like to answer?
I don't think there is a trend towards that. Like Ishan said that they used to think that only freshers get marketing roles. And then they saw that the next year people with 3.5 to 4 years of work ex got, calls from these companies. So I don't think there is a particular pattern or trend towards these things, towards experience. I think it's based on your overall profile. So I know freshers who are now into big consulting companies as well. And I know people with very high amount of work ex actually being in companies with not so big companies as well. So I don't think there is a particular scale that you can attach to the interview shortlists.
Okay, Utsav, you would like to say something?
So in my opinion, it does not depend on so it's not particular about any company or any role, but it changes from company to company and roles to roles. So few consulting companies which have broadband so they have certain years of criteria, but it's not particular for any type of IT companies or anything like that.
Okay. There is a okay, yeah. It is often said that IIM Shillong has a location disadvantage. Is it true? If yes, how does it affect the students? Okay, maybe the first years. Suryansh, you would like to answer, and Akshay. Yeah, Suryansh and Akshay.
So I was saying, I'm not sure if this was the case earlier, but even I used to hear that there is a location disadvantage for Shillong being in such a like in such a remote area and all of those things. But then you look at the companies that have come for placements, and then would you honestly say that there is a location disadvantage? Like you compare it with the companies that are there in the metro cities as well, and I don't think that there is a particular thing that you will notice that these companies do not come here or these companies come here. So I think I have a more of a balanced opinion about this, that with the batch profile, the kind of roles that are required for the batch, those sort of companies are more more likely to come to your campus. And that changes with every year. For every college that changes. So I don't think there's a particular location disadvantages.
Okay. Okay. Akshay, Utsav, you want to add anything, or we can just then move to the next section, which is academics. We'll have to do it quickly. Yeah.
So post-COVID, there is nothing like there is no particular thing like location disadvantage. So even people sitting in Mumbai don't want to travel to Delhi for going for interview.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful place here in Northeast. You can explore Northeast. So it's not a disadvantage really. It's a advantage.
Okay. Okay.
And you look at our campus and you'll experience that. You look at a new campus and you know that it's an advantage, to be very honest.
Okay. 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 Let's talk about the academics. So I think, Suryash, you had a electives bidding, I believe, right? Today. Yeah. So the thing is, like, let's talk about first. Let's talk about when do you select the electives, and how do you decide which electives to take, and then we'll talk about the clubs and committees. Yeah.
So the first year is common for everyone. The subject that you have to choose first year is basically they're setting the foundation for your MBA, right? So first year you need to know about finance as well. You need to know about HR. You need to know about ops. You need to know about marketing, about everything basically. So the first year is common for everyone. In the second year, you choose your electives. In the second year, you basically do your specialization of sorts. You say that I am more interested towards marketing, so I'm going to take up electives that are focused on marketing. So that's how the process was for us as well. And yesterday we had our elective bidding. So that was an open bidding process. And so we got certain XYZ amount of points and we had to pick our electives from that. So we had to fill up the credit this thing. So there were criteria for the first term. You need to have XYZ criteria, and then overall you need to have XYZ criteria credits. So that's how it went, and you bid for that, and you get the electives that you want, and then you study for those electives in your second.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the clubs and committees, and also a little bit about how life is. I mean, how stressful life is at IIM Shillong in the first year and the second year. So maybe, Akshay, you can talk, and Ishan, you can talk about the first year and the second year. stress, which one is more, which one is less. Govardhan, you can add, and then we will talk about internship and placements, because I think, there are a lot of people who have joined us today. Interestingly, they are the ones, who have already received the letters, and they would actually like to know about. For those people, we also will be having, IMS is also going to be organizing campus meet next week, or maybe next to next week. So yeah, you will get more information about that. This is actually more for the CAT 23 people, but we'll still try to cover as much as we can in this session. Yeah. So yeah, Ishan and Akshay, can you guys talk about the first year, the second year, the stress level, and how life is at IIM Shillong?
Yeah, so when we joined IIM Shillong, the first thing we had to do was building resumes, and before that there was a foundation course also, and they were kind of prepping us for doing multitasking and manage our time. So there was like mentorship program for, I guess, 1 week. 1 week mentorship program was there, and they were putting a lot of pressure on us. I know this was for us to be prepared for like coming up SIP interviews and then academics also and all those things at a time. So I know that first 15 days was very rigorous, I would say. But after that, then clubs and committees interviews were there, and after that SIP interviews. First year, I would say, like first 2-3 months, we don't have like that kind of experience of having rigorous work at all the time. That kind of experience we don't have before MBA. So that those first 2-3 months, I would say, little bit stressful, but after that you get used to it and you kind of enjoy it. You kind of miss it when your placement is and all the club and committee interviews are done and you are the part of committee, and you kind of miss that being busy at all the time and all those things. I would say you should really enjoy it.
Okay, but second year, unless you've got a PPO, it's still a bit stressful, isn't it?
Yeah,
no?
but not compared to first year. It is quite less stressful.
Okay. Yeah, Ishan, campus life and yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, I think in MBA in general, no matter where you go, it's just 2 years of fun. So that is something people need to realize. The day you step in and 2 years later, it's just a very surreal journey, and it does change you. Taking you from Akshay, the first year is very hectic. Like the first 6 months, you would have no idea what you have signed up for. People had told you it's like this, but it's in a completely different ball game altogether. With your SIPs, with your committee induction, with your academics, because also academics, like people would say you will get passed, but you have to maintain a certain level of consistency there to pass as well. And plus all the other campus activities. So like different clubs will be hosting different kind of events. Like there's something like God Sellers, Suryansh, and I think
Suryansh and Utsav will be talking about that, clubs and committees.
So I was part of the placement committees. For us, it took a notch higher in terms of the work that we had to put in. I mean, I just saw somebody just like, what is the average hours of sleep that you manage to get on a usual day? In the first year, it's pretty less, but you tend to enjoy that chaos, to be honest. I mean, post 2 years now, and when you're in working, we don't get to do that. So that feels like you do feel a lot bored, because campus, one day something or the else is going on in the campus. Something, some academic session, some interactive podium session, or corporate competitions, something would be going. So there's a lot of buzz in the environment, and it's a lot of a very fun kind of buzz, because people are trying to help each other. So it is in a way not competitive, or more of a collaborative environment.
Right.
So
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Okay, yeah. Suryansh and Utsav, you guys can talk about the clubs and committees. Suryansh, you're part of the cult something, right? Cult form. Yeah.
So I'm part of the cultural committee, and like Ishan said, the committee inductions are very, it's very hectic, and it comes to you all together at once in the first 6 months of your first year. So life is very busy in the first 6 months. Let's just say that, very busy, and you'll enjoy the chaos, like Ishan said. Like I am at home right now for my internship, and I can't wait to go back and enjoy my second year there at campus.
Okay.
So although it may seem like it's very hectic and it's getting to you, and on some days it will. On some days you will be like, okay, this is it. I don't want more of this. But when you come out of it, only then you'll realize, no, that is exactly what I wanted. I needed that sort of buzz. I needed that sort of chaos in my life. And I miss that right now. So now I'm waiting for my second year. And coming to the clubs and committees, So there are about 22 clubs and committees in IIM Shillong, and most of them are student run.
Okay.
Like there are faculty mentors, but more or less all the activities that you do as a part of your club, those are going to be student run, and you get a lot of autonomy in doing that as well. So because I'm a part of cultural committee, we organize. So we have a lot of events. Like every month we organize something. So that takes a huge part of your daily schedule as well, because you're working with the same people, and then that's where you form your bond as well. So those people most likely are going to be your friends for the rest of your life, right? Not just restricted to your MBA, because you're spending around 2 to 3 hours with them, or maybe 1 hour also with them on a daily basis. There tends to be that sort of bond formed with them, and you enjoy all the events. Just because I'm part of Cultcom doesn't mean I don't enjoy the rest of the events, right? So
Okay.
if Opera, for example, the operations club is organizing an event, I will take
Yeah,
part.
so Utsav, you are a member of that one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah?
so
Yeah.
me and Akshay were members of operations
Okay.
club.
Yeah.
So clubs and committees is a beautiful thing. We have 10 committees and 12 clubs, and in each year, new clubs keep on forming. So this year, a new club, Orion, has formed. It's related to astronomy.
Oh,
so,
nice.
So
yeah.
On each day, there are multiple events going on. So let's suppose that in the afternoon, there is some event of opera going on. And at the night, in the night, you have a movie night organized by the guest. Or so such kind of events keep happening.
Okay. Govardhan, which club committees you were part of?
I was part of the entrepreneurship cell.
Okay.
So,
okay. Yeah. Okay. There's a question about for the current Shillong students. I believe that in the first year, the students are put up in the hostel at the old campus and have to travel 45 minutes one way to the new campus for the classes. Does it become a bit too hectic considering how rigorous an MBA already is? Also, what is the average hours of sleep that you manage to get on a usual day? So yeah, so maybe Utsav, you can answer this. How far and how much time does it take? Yeah.
So in the first day, you cannot really demand for sleep, firstly. So it's going to be hectic, and you have to compromise on your sleep. And regarding the journey, the next journey, you won't even realize it's a beautiful journey. And regarding the hostel, I think the hostel committee would further inform the students regarding their hostels. And the hostels are beautiful. We have attached washrooms and attached balcony and everything. So the campus is really beautiful. So
how is the nightlife at IIM Shillong within the campus? Can you guys party and all that? Is there like a spot where one can go and party and do yeah, I mean beyond the faculty members reach? Is there something like that for IIM Shillong? Yeah, Govardhan, can you answer that?
I don't want to reveal anything. I just want.
But since we have this time a lot of attendees, who are actually going in, and yeah, so why not just let
for
them
the
know?
For the students who have got the converts, who are going to join the campus, please don't listen to this. It's going to be amazing. Okay, there are going to be complete starry nights. You can go to the any location, you can find completely the campus lighted up, and behind you can see the stars completely, because it's very non-polluted city.
Correct.
Place. So apart from that, the partying and stuff, I don't want to talk on this forum. I think you will get to know everyone has their own ways of figuring it out and doing whatever they want to do. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, because in B School Insider, most of our speakers from other B schools, they also share photos from their parties. So yeah, so this is basically that platform where panelists can share whatever they want to share. So but yeah, so let's talk about then internship and placements. So how about Akshay? Can you just talk about okay, first Suryansh and Utsav, you guys are going through the internship. So can you guys talk briefly about the internship process? Utsav, is it different for you? And Suryansh, is it different for you? I mean, if you're choosing something, one particular specialization, or Utsav, if you're going more towards operations, then it might be different. Is there anything like that, or no? Utsav, you can start. Then Suryansh, you can add. Yeah.
So everything is prepared here, well prepared. So firstly, when the summer internship starts, So two committees are simultaneously working for internship. One is the placement committee and other is the placement preparation committee. So they would assign you mentors for your CV preparation, your interview preparation. So Akshay was my CV mentor. So everything is planned. Everything is planned, and you can opt for the companies that you want, and it's very well prepared.
Okay. Yeah, Suryansh.
Yeah, I think Utsav covered most of it. Yeah, so for me as well, I got an SIP mentor, CV mentor is different. So everything is very well planned for you. When you enter you start your first year, your seniors know that you are not used to this. You do not know how this process goes. So they will be there to guide you through the process, and everything will take care of itself in due time. And when the placements come, you can opt for the companies that you want to interview for, and then that's how, if you get the interview, then you clear the interview, you get selected for the process. So that's what happened for us as well. And right now both of us are going through our internship, so I'm done with my first month.
Yeah. Okay. And usually, but then again, I believe every B school have the same thing that you have to probably go to another city or wherever the internship will take you. So it's nothing to do with that. In IIM Shillong, it's just far. Yeah, because since location becomes like an issue, right?
Yeah,
So
most of our
yeah.
interviews happened online as well. In another B
Okay.
schools also they happen online. It's not like for a metro city, like all the interviews happen offline. It's not like that.
Okay.
So my interview also happened online, and it's like the internship location is anyway going to be in a metro city, or maybe for like some people that have to go to the plant, maybe Jamshedpur for Tata or any other sort of place. So more or less it's the same for all B schools, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Akshay, can you speak quickly about the placement process at IIM Shillong, and then we'll talk Govardhan, and then Ishan, you guys can just talk about your placement experience and a little bit whatever the placement is like at IIM Shillong. Yeah, Akshay.
Yeah, so basically it placement preparation like starts with the resume again. You can update your resume with all your case comms and all the events you or the certification you did in first years and all that. After that, then the CV you can update in between also. After that, then placement starts around September, and it is a staggered process in IIM Shillong. It is not like a 10-day or 5 days program. It is the placement starts with a few dream companies, and then it goes on in like till month. So as it is basically, it is pretty much standard process. You can opt for, there is a portal, you can opt for companies come, and then you get into portal, and you can opt if you want to get in or not. Then shortlist comes in, and then you prepare for that, and then prepare like the actual interviews happen for a day, and then you get in or not as per it. For my my personal experience, I cracked my first interview. So what happened is some companies take preparation also before that. Once they are shortlisted to them, they will take preparation for some days, and then interviews will happen. So that helped me a lot, and our peers also, they were like always helpful to me to prepare for GDs, to prepare for interviews, PIs, like, or getting resume pointers on the CV also. So all peers will help. Placement committee also helps, and placement preparation committee is there, so they will also help you in taking specific company specific sessions for with the alumni also. So all those combined efforts you can have while you go to interviews.
Okay. Yeah. Govardhan, can you talk about your placement experience? Was it a PPO, or was it and were you interning for the same people, and then you got a PPO?
No, it was not a PPO for me. So it was through campus placements. So it was was a very good experience. So what I did, like what Akshay mentioned, so I used to contact people who have done internship in that company and which comes to the placement, or I used to reach out to some of my seniors, alums who have been working in that company. And worst case, even if that is not possible, if you're not able to, if the company is new to the campus, you can reach out to the employees working through LinkedIn, get to know more about the company.
Right.
So having that is an advantage in your placement. You're very well prepared about what the company is doing, what he is expecting out of you, what has been his track record and everything. So that has helped me convert. And believe me, IIM Shillong takes its own sweet time for getting everyone placed. Not taking names of other B schools, but is not Shillong is not into the competitive mode of like closing the placement season as early as possible and all of that stuff. It takes its own time for everyone to get placed and done. So, and the placement committee and the alum committee are there even beyond your placements, even after you graduate. So there is a constant support after that as well. So yeah.
So was ABN Bev through placement?
Yes, it was through
Okay.
campus.
Okay, it was. Okay. Yeah, Ishan, how did ICICI happen? Was that your placement? Yeah, was that through placement or was that later on? And if not, then what was your experience placement?
So, I'll just talk about ICCI, then I'll just move to a general for everybody. ICCI, so there's certain companies that differ when they come from summer internships. If you would see the placement course, and certain companies only come for your final placement offers. So ICCI potential generally comes for your finals, and that's where I had converted because the role also was a sales marketing, digital marketing role that I was quite enamored by. In general, Akshay mentioned, Govardhan mentioned, we follow a rolling cohort process at IIM Shillong. It's not just like your first 7 days will go on till everybody in the batch is placed. That is what the efforts of the all placement committee and the placement committee is generally in place. For my suggestion would be for people who have converted, start making your CV at this point. So you'll get to know by the time that what are the gaps in your CV or anything that you can do in the meanwhile. I believe you had 2-3 months before the college academic session begins. If one of you could pick up an internship, so those things might help. How it begins once the summer placement starts, there'll be a lot of shortlist. I would tell people one suggestion would be don't fuss on the shortlist. You won't able to understand which is the criteria. That is something that is not in your control. That is let the company do whatever shortlisting criteria they're looking at. Whenever you get the chance, you try to put in your best. Try to know about the company, try to know about yourself, like Govardhan mentioned, and there'll be a lot of help from the people who are there on the campus in terms of the documents that you need to have, in terms of the things that you need to say. There'll be a lot of help provided there. Just be smart about it. Just do your pre-work before entering the college. Like, people have asked a lot of questions. Start preparing a rough resume right now. It'll give you an idea how we go about things there. And as and when you're there in the different aspects of the journey, people will help you. So there will be advice. There will be a lot of sessions for each particular company, for each domain. People who are in the current batch, like somebody mentioned, like alumni would be there to help you, as well as of course contact any one of us in case you need that help. So that is there, and that's how the placements work. It is sometimes it gets tiring once you get rejected by a lot of companies, but like I said, everybody said, just hold on. The next best company, the next best offer is just there for you. Just don't get bogged down too much. Just trust the process and keep going about it.
So are you saying also that, right from day zero at the IIM Shillong, your placement process is already started, as in you're already building your profile and you're doing this and that and everything, so that you have...
Yeah, I mean, so like for somebody, for people like for freshers, I'll come from that perspective. I had an internship, so that works as a talking point. So that's what. So if you don't have an internship right now, you have 2 months of time. You can probably do an internship somewhere. So that just will add something to your CV or something. If there's something you're doing as a different activity, like Raj mentioned, he has a YouTube channel. So that's something that sticks there as well. And why, like the clubs and committees, why they are important, because they also become a talking point during your because they want to see that you're managing different hats. It's not you're just one thing, because everybody is there to study with the cream of the country. So the people with very good profiles, you have to sort of differentiate yourself by trying to manage different things in a very seamless and comfortable way.
Okay. There is a question for Ishan. As a 2022 BTech graduate who couldn't score a decent score for 2022 CAT, does having no work ex and year gap in your profile cause any major issues moving forward?
I don't think so. I mean, look, if you look at most of us, we have gone through CAT like twice, thrice. So that does it. I think you just have to get over it mentally. Go in for your 2023 attempt with a very new approach. You've given it 1 year, so you do have an idea about it, about your weaknesses and strengths.
Okay.
Just go about it once again. It doesn't cause any problem in terms of any shortlisting or anywhere. It's just something that is there in your mind. So don't listen to it. Go and give, and hopefully you clear CAT 2023, and then you are in IIM Shillong or any other B school where you want to be.
Yeah, Govardhan, this question is for you. In case somebody is rejecting a PPO, doesn't want. Yeah, so is it okay to reject the PPO and sit for the placement interviews? Is IIM Shillong, do they allow you to do that?
Ishan is the right guy to answer this
Yeah,
question, but
Ishan,
anyways, I will.
yeah, placement cell, yeah, but Govardhan, you've also gone through the process, so yeah, and yeah, Ishan.
Safest answer would be, your placement committee will let you know about it at that point in time. So that is
Okay.
the safest. Yeah, I mean, for us to comment on it right now would be a very, will put us in a difficult position. But it depends on the season. You do have, so the placement committee will give you the guidelines of the season before your placement season begins. They will host a session where you need to listen very intently and very carefully what all they are telling you. So they'll give you the entire guidelines and the rules of the season. That will be decided upon the committee. So they'll get to know about that where you go. When you go into the college, you'll get to know all of these things.
Yeah. Okay. There's a question about is it that product management requires certain years of work experience? Is there anybody from product management? No, in our panel, no. But do you? Do PM roles offered at placements? Yeah, Govardhan, you want to answer?
For any role, not just product manager or any role, there are case competitions and everything that's gonna happen. You can try it on campus or you can try it on your own offline. Anything. If that really proves you that you are interested in the role and you have done something related to it, it doesn't matter if you're a fresher or if you have an experience. So they will take you and they will accept you. So it's just that you need to be interested and you need to be around it. Your CV must talk about it somewhere. So yeah.
Okay. Is there any international placements as well at IIM Shillong?
Yeah, so so it depends on a year-to-year basis. So like for our seniors, certain international companies had come in. For us as well, like Landmark Group, Agri Chemicals. So like Agri Chemicals was a company based in Africa. They had come in for our seniors. Landmark Group / which was in your Dubai, they had come for us. It depends on a year-to-year basis. The placement committee does go on for all these companies. Like as many companies we can get on board. That is like our implementation, and of course, international placements do stand like they stand on in itself to showcase on the report and even for the college. So there are obviously attempts made at it, but again that depends on that year whether we are able to successfully bring the company on board or not. So that depends their requirements as well. If
Somebody, yeah, please continue.
They have the requirements, they'll definitely come to the college. It's not like a yes no. It does depend on that season to season.
Okay, Akshay, can you answer this about the student exchange program?
Yeah, so till last year, I guess we had some of the little bit collaboration, but from now year onward, the student exchange program is like quite progressing. I would say there are like 3-4 new institutes that have like mostly during my 2 years of experience, after 2-3 months the new collaboration would come in, and there would be offering from that school for student exchange program. I guess from next year onwards it would be very good. Like till last year, due to COVID, from my experience, due to COVID, the student exchange program was not happening like in a very full-fledged. But now I guess from this year onwards to 23-25 batch, it would be very good because a lot of collaboration happened recently.
Okay.
It has
Just
already
to add
started
on
this
to
year.
Akshay's
It has
point,
already started.
there's also a new committee formed, International Relations Committee. It was formed in the last year only, in the last year itself. So the committee is working on adding more collaborations, adding more partnerships with IIM Shillong and more student exchange programs.
Okay. Yeah, Suryansh, there's a question about, somebody would like to know which company are you interning with? If you can reveal, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, I can reveal that. So I'm interning with Atomberg Technologies right now. So it's a fan company. It's not just a fan company, it's actually a technology company that is mainly working on fans right now. And I am interning in a sales and marketing role.
Yeah. Does the CAT percentile have any role to play in the final placements? Ishan?
No. I mean,
okay.
I don't think. Largely, we haven't seen. It's your graduation, 10th, 12th, basic, those. And actually, for finals, generally, like some questions are there. Certain companies do have that pre-WorkX criteria. Like some people that ask product management. So it depends again, company to company. Like for you would have seen Amagi, and they would have like you require 2 years of WorkX prior to joining the college. So it depends on a company to company. But yeah, I don't think CAT score is that important at that point in time.
Okay, while Suryansh, you prep your screen for it, we'll continue with the wrapping up. Govardhan, can you go with your tips for the any parting tips for people who are coming to IIM Shillong, because now we have a good percentage of attendees this time who are actually not preparing for CAT, but rather who are just who are call getters from IIM Shillong. So yeah, any tips for them, the call getters?
First thing is networking. Start your networking right away. If you haven't done it, like from the LMs to the current batch guys and everyone. Second thing is ask for help. If you're not from finance background, or if you're not from operations, or if you're not from any background that you are from, you will get a lot of help. There will be there will be ample number of CAs in the batch, CFAs in the batch. So seek help. So that is your second thing. And certain classes, certain sessions, be very attentive and reach on time to the class. Okay, don't blame the professor if you're 1 minute late. So if he shuts the door at 9 a.m., so it's not on him. So try to be on time. And second year, you'll definitely gonna have fun. So and you, like Akshay said, you will get used to it after first 15 days.
Okay. Yeah, Suryansh, photos.
Yeah. Just, so this is from the farewell that we had for the senior batch. So this is just the stage that we set up for them. So I'll just show you all the photos. Just give me a second. So this is from Diwali. We had a Rangoli making competition. So this is in the campus. This is the new campus.
This is a new
This
campus.
is the new campus. Yeah. So this is the old campus. So this is the common room in the old campus. This is also where we celebrated Diwali, and so we celebrated Diwali in both the campuses.
Acha.
So this is again the old campus. We had a bonfire night as well.
Yeah, because the weather is so pleasant.
Yeah,
right?
so the weather is really pleasant, right? So it's about 10 to 15 degrees. It's ranging from. So a bonfire night really helps. And there was a guitar that was like, there was a person playing the guitar and all those things.
Yeah.
We also had people dress up on that day because it slightly coincided with Halloween. So people were like really in the mood for that. So people dressed up for that, the bonfire night. This is the Diwali celebrations at the new campus. So we had the anars and all those, like the firecrackers.
Yeah.
This is the diya making that we had. So this is just a random photo of the diyas. This is again the old campus, the common room. So we had a sort of a housey thing like planned for the batch on Diwali. So after we burst all the crackers and all of that, after dinner we had this thing. So that was there. So that's when the Santa came in as well after all the performances, and when he came, we cut the cake.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, Ishan, do you have Govardhan? You've already given. Ishan, do you have any suggestions and tips also for CAT takers? Yeah, there are some attendees over there.
Yeah, so for people who are taking CAT, my tip would be get a schedule in, make your schedule one that you can follow religiously and consistently, and second, like just attempt the art of giving the paper. CAT is not your usual, you don't have to score 90. percent. It is like a percentile game. So you have to learn the art of giving the paper. So those would be my 2 tips. Plus, I think the IMS experts would be there to help you around. For people who are going to Shillong, just expect the unexpected. One bad day wouldn't make. So don't let your Tuesdays be affected by your Mondays, is what I'm going to say. Just have a very neutral perspective to everything. Just try to enjoy it. Just try to take everything in your stride. It will be the most enjoyable 2 years you're going to have. I'm telling you, I mean, you'll want to keep coming back to whichever campus. You'll want to keep coming back and doing your MBA. Just have fun. Placements, I know it's an important aspect of the whole thing, but when you look at it from the whole holistic journey point, it just becomes a big part of it. So just try to enjoy the entire journey, and everything's gonna just keep believing in yourself, and it'll be just a great fun to have there.
Akshay, anything for the MBA aspirants? Any tip?
So what I would say is, like, start preparing early, 2-3 hours daily, but daily and consistently you would put in, you will definitely have good results. And don't take too much pressure of the result. Focus on preparations only. That would, like, it would put you kind of mental stress, and you would lose focus on preparation. So mainly focus on preparation. Obviously results would come in.
Okay. Yeah. Suryansh, any tip for the people who are incoming?
Yeah, so just enjoy your 2 years, man. Like everyone in the panel has already said, these are to be the best years of your life. So last year I was in your position when I was listening to these sessions from IMS, and I used to hear panelists come in and say the same old things. These are going to be the best 2 years of your life. And I used to say, bus, thak gaya main sun ke, please stop. But no, that is for real. Like, that happens. Abhi, I can say you from personal experience, I am back in my home right now and I can't wait to go back. So that's how it's going to be for you as well. No matter how boring it may sound right now, it is going to be the best 2 years of your life. So enjoy to the fullest.
Yeah. Utsav, any PI tips for the CAT 23 people? Yeah.
So only tip is keep calm. बहुत लंबा journey है from CAT to CAT result, interview result, and finally joining. Keep calm, and if you have joined IMS, then just listen to the experts there. Don't join too many Telegram groups and follow advice given by students or any other faculty or any other person to study a particular topic from any other channels or any other mode. Just keep focusing on what the experts have said. And to the incoming students, it's a rigorous journey. So 1.5 months hai abhi. Enjoy karo ghar pe.
Okay. Yeah, Shreya, the campus meet for IIM Shillong the dates have not been fixed yet, but we will be sharing it in the Telegram groups and all, just like how you got to know about this event. So yeah, so in that specifically, we will be only covering about the campus bit and no CAT and all that. Yeah. All right. Okay. That's all we have today. We have covered a lot about IIM Shillong, and thank you so much, all the attendees, and thank you, Suryansh. Thank you, Ishan. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Govardhan. And thank you, Utsav. Thank you so much for being here today and giving us insights on IIM Shillong. Thank you.